Hey, I'm Darrell. And
I'm Noah Taluki.
And you're listening to the second ever episode of What's Your Take?
Tell me your location so I know, yeah. I ain't really tryna run it up on you. Tell me your location so I know. I ain't really tryna run it up on you.
Sports and politics intertwined last week in the NFL when players took a knee or locked in arms in a sign of unity and protest against President Donald Trump, who stated NFL players were SOBs because they didn't stand for the anthem. So, Noah, have these anthem protests hurt the NFL?
Oh, Darrell, these protests have hurt the NFL big time.
Are you going to stop watching?
No, I'm not personally, but I know that there's some people out there that have said that they're not watching any more games until this issue gets resolved.
Then what they doing on Sunday? Church only lasts for like 2 hours.
Church is in the morning, and you got football in the afternoon.
Yeah, so what are they doing in the afternoon?
They're probably going to be shopping and packing the kids' lunches for school next day.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah.
That's why people watch football, so they don't have to do that type of stuff.
I know there's actually a few restaurants in the United States that have actually just said, we're boycotting the NFL on Sundays. We're not going to show the NFL at our restaurant.
That's BS. People want football. Don't give me that.
There's a few fans, though. It'll get taken care of. It's just a fad. But on the positive side, one of the most exciting games of this past NFL weekend was the Lions versus the Falcons. It was an attempted comeback by Matt Stafford. It just came up short because of an 8-second runoff that ended the game when the Lions were at the 1 yard line, 3rd and goal. So, Darrell, did the Lions get robbed?
They got robbed, but who cares? It's the Lions.
We were watching that game at Buffalo Wild Wings together.
Yes, we were.
And I was the only Lions fan in that whole
Yes,
place.
it were. And you are very non-objective when it comes to the Lions. You sound like an angry old lady.
Hey? Oh, I don't think I sound like that, Darrell.
Nobody, trust me, no one cares that the Lions lost.
I do. They beat possibly the best. In my opinion, they beat the best team in the NFL.
But they didn't beat them. Atlanta's 3-0. And
The
Detroit's
officials
2-1.
robbed. Because if the officials would have spotted the ball correctly, and then they would have gotten a buzz from upstairs.
Remember that fake? Fake Hail Mary catch with the Packers and the Seahawks?
Fake?
Yeah.
Oh, the fail.
Yeah. Yes. Remember that?
Yes.
That was a bad call, but life went on. The
Life's still gonna go on.
Seattle Seahawks didn't give the ball to Marshawn Lynch on the 1 yard line. Life still goes on. The Atlanta Falcons didn't run the ball in the Super Bowl. Life goes on.
Okay.
Trust me, no one cares about the Lions.
The Lions will beat the Vikings.
We'll see about that. Now, let's stop talking about the Lions. Heading into week 3 of the NFL season, only 2 teams are undefeated, the Atlanta Falcons and the Kansas City Chiefs. So, Noah, are the Falcons and Chiefs the 2 best teams in the NFC and AFC, respectively?
Well, Darrell, before the game against
Please
the
don't
Lions,
say the Lions. Please don't say the Lions.
Before the game against the Lions, the Falcons looked like they were the best team in the NFC. They really struggled against those Lions. 3 interceptions thrown by Matt Ryan. 3. He hasn't done that since 2015. You know what I mean? But here's the thing. I would say the Lions have been the most consistent team from week to week the last 3 weeks. Consistent. I'll admit, I don't know if they're the best in the NFC, but at least they've been the most consistent.
They're not the best team in the NFC. The 2 best teams are the 2 teams that are undefeated. Kansas City Chiefs have the best roster in the AFC, and it's not even close. They got Kareem Hunt, Lamar Houston, Dee Ford, Marcus Peters, Tyreek Hill. Great team.
Okay.
Atlanta Falcons, like I said, their team speed on defense is fabulous. Matt Ryan, Julio Jones, Mohamed Sanu, and Devontae Freeman. The 2 best teams in the NFL right now.
We kept up with the Falcons. I agree with the Chiefs, though. The Chiefs do have a loaded roster. I don't know if they'll win the Super Bowl, but they could compete in the playoffs. It'll be interesting. So, Darrell, Aaron Hernandez's fiance sues the NFL, and the Patriots admits his CTE diagnosis. So, with this being the latest NFL player with CTE in the brain, should the NFL be worried about the sport's future?
Yes, they should be worried, because if it happens in your house the way it happens in my house, mama rules. You don't tell mama no. And mamas don't want their babies playing football. And grandmas. So that's a problem.
Yeah, you know what? There are a lot of people. I remember when I was playing football in 4th grade. This is the year 2008. I remember people didn't want to play football because if people didn't want to play football, they didn't want to play because they were afraid they were going to break a bone or something. Nowadays, people don't want to play football because of their head. And it's crazy. In less than 10 years, it's totally flipped from it's sort of being, something with the arms and legs to now the head. And you're right about that. I agree. A lot of people, a lot of moms and grandmas don't want their kids playing football. So
you're going to see an effect in that in Pop Warner.
Oh yes, I think so. There's already numbers dropping. So.
Now off to the NBA. Blockbuster moves happened this weekend with Dwayne Wade being signed by the Cleveland Cavaliers on a $2.3 million deal, and Carmelo Anthony being traded to the Oklahoma City Thunder. So no, I have to ask you. Which team is now closer to being the Golden State Warriors, the Oklahoma City Thunder or the Cleveland Cavaliers?
Well, Darrell, I'm going to have to go with the Cleveland Cavaliers here. We talked about this on your podcast yesterday. Dwayne Wade is a great acquisition for this.
He's 35 years old, and he has arthritis.
Okay, but he still has that 3-year connection with LeBron.
I don't care what his 3-year connection is. The man has bone on bone.
Okay, well, we'll get him healthy.
What do you mean you don't fix bone on bone?
What if I said the Pistons were the best in the East? You would dismiss me. I think the Cavs.
I'm not talking about the East to beat the Warriors. Real question. Nobody's beating the Warriors.
Okay, but with LeBron, with Isaiah Thomas, Dwayne Wade, Derrick Rose, even we forgot about him. He's an old MVP. Oh, he's old. You know what? If they get it together, I think they can really compete. It'll be an interesting ride, though. But college basketball in the NCAA has been in the news for all the wrong reasons recently, with college coaches taking cash bribes from shoe companies and managers to direct players to them. Furthermore, the players' families were getting paid upwards of $100,000 for that athlete's comment. So, Darrell, with all this corruption going on, is it time for college athletes to be paid?
Yes, they should be paid. And I know you vehemently disagree, but they should be paid. And there's no reason why they are not being paid. They make all this money for these universities. They don't get a single dime.
Actually, I was thinking about that after our podcast, Darrell. I don't think that they should be paid again. And I think that the university is making money off of jersey sales and sports memorabilia and all that. But that money is going to those really, really nice facilities and that nice equipment that they have. So aren't the players?
What about the television contracts with CBS, Fox, NBC to broadcast those games?
Well, those have always been huge.
Oh well, yeah, but they're not getting a piece of pie, and they're part of the product.
Free education.
What do you mean free education?
It's already it's already expensive enough.
Screw free education when you're making $10 million a year. What do you mean free education?
$10 million. That's the NFL.
You think you'd be here if you were getting $10 million a year? I don't think so.
NFL. You got to wait. Be patient.
What do you mean be patient for $20 million? $10 million?
until you go to the NFL.
This is why Noah is not going to the NFL, because he doesn't get it. Okay, now to John Carroll football. The Blue Streaks lost their game against Heidelberg University last weekend in a 47-21 hard-fought battle. So Noah, is it time for the panic meter with John Carroll football that is now 1-2?
Absolutely not, Darrell. I mean, they looked a little sloppy out there against Heidelberg. They threw 5 interceptions. 2 of them returned for touchdowns. But have no fear. Coach Fanati, the new coach from the University of Michigan, he's going to get this team ready to go. They got Wilmington on Saturday. And it's, of course, they got 2 games circled on their calendar. Ohio Northern and Mount Union. 2 extremely important games, especially when it comes to playoff seeding. So I can't wait for this team to make some noise in the national ranks.
Heidelberg put up 47 points against a team, and they're named the Fighting Princes. And they put up 47 points against John Carroll.
They had 650 total yards against Ohio Northern. Their offense is amazing. John Carroll just could not stop their offense. They'll be able to stop.
John Carroll's 1-2. They're not making it to the playoffs. I'll tell you this right now.
You watch, Darrell. I think Coach Fanati is really going to get this team fired up.
Michigan bias again. Nobody cares. I'm just going to say this and leave it at this. The other coach is no longer here, got us to the semifinals. Coach Fanati's 1-2.
All right. I'm Noah Taluki.
And I'm Darrell Lane. And you were listening to What's Your Take?
TQ.